Happy Thursday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show. I am Anthony Totri, joined as always by Erik Ruby. We got DJ Shane Diefenbach.
Whoa!
Behind the Mac, making all of the magic happen today. Guys, do us a solid. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Erik, we have a ton to get into today. Arizona State football with a new recruit, yet radio silence all across social media. We'll explain to you why that is. Also, potentially, we've got some Athlon Sports preseason Big 12 featuring some Sun Devils on there, so we'll talk about that. And then also, we're going to talk about the Colorado Buffalo fan base just wah.
It's weird. The first time you've ever talked about the Colorado Buffalo fan base.
Just crying, man. Just crying all over social media. It's hilarious. JJB in the chat. Know this is a football episode, but can we give a quick shout out to Bobby Hurley Jr. getting a scholarship? So yeah, there was a video that had been, I think it was on Instagram, and it looked like Bobby Hurley Jr. was signing a scholarship. So it appears Bobby Hurley Jr. is on scholarship. That would leave one scholarship spot left. If my math is correct on that, we'll see if Arizona State intends to fill it with maybe a transfer portal guy. More than likely, though, I would expect it to be a walk-on spot. But we shall see. Still plenty of time before we actually get started with college basketball. But you ready to just get into it?
Born ready.
You ready to get into Arizona State's newest running back?
Dude, running back you.
It is running back you. Demarius Robinson, 3-star running back from Edmond, Oklahoma, 5'10", $175. He had realistically 2 other big-time offers, Houston and Kansas State. Nothing massive, but Big 12 schools. I know you were watching a little bit of this kid's tape earlier today. What'd you see?
First play right off the bat, he shakes 2 defenders in straight line speed right up the field. And his elusiveness and his ability to do a little bit, it's not yak, but like running after contact, like that was really big. And literally he was so shifty on one play, the camera went the other way and had to shift back to find where he actually cut. And so somebody who, he's got good size, he's got a good build, but he runs like he's small. And I say that as like a compliment. You know what I mean? Like he runs like he's shifty and nobody can really catch him. Every single basically play, he's at least shedding 1 tackle. And there are multiple within the first couple minutes where he takes it like 60, 70, 80 yards downfield for a touchdown. Nobody even close to him at the end.
He does have some really, really nice speed that you'll see when he gets to Arizona State in his in that Sun Devil backfield. For me, and I know we're going to talk about the running back room as a whole over the next couple seasons here in a little bit, but when you turn on the tape of this kid, like you said, he is really agile. He moves well. He is really quick. He is one of the faster commits that I've seen, at least offensively for the Sun Devils. I don't think he's going to be the fastest. There was a wide receiver. Yeah, there was a couple wide receivers. I forget if it was Michael Butler or if it was the other one.
Was it Mikey Scott?
It might have been Mikey.
I think it was Mikey Scott,
who had just ridiculous speed. But again, you kind of see the talent that Arizona State is going for, and specifically these skill sets that they're looking for at certain positions. And again, to be able to get a running back, high 3-star, I believe he's an 87 overall on 24/7 Sports.
Yes, he is an 87.
So for those of you that are big about the numbers, a 90 would be a 4-star.
Right.
So just a few points away from being a 4-star running back. Again, Arizona State, I believe this is the first commit that they have in the class of 2025 out of Oklahoma. So the list of states, Erik, continues to grow that Arizona State and Kenny Dillingham are just walking into and recruiting these guys.
Yeah, lots of Texas, including your top commit for 2025 and Adrian Wilson, who is a 4-star wide receiver. Lots of California as well with AJ Ia, Corey Butler, Benjamin Alafeo. Yeah, I think I got that right.
There you go.
Yeah, New Mexico as well. little bit of Arizona thrown in there, and now, Oklahoma too. Hawaii. I mean, Pennsylvania.
All over the map,
they really are spreading out everywhere. Nevada, Utah. But at the end of the day, the two still main powerhouses are Texas and California, which is really where you want your bread and butter to be. But I think one thing that I would like to see a little bit more is a few more of those AZ guys. And I know they lost commitment as well that they had in that class. But overall, you can't really have any complaints with what the 2025 class looks like. And I know a lot of people were worried about the running back room or maybe didn't want any more running backs. But as far as this class goes, he is the only running back currently committed for the class of 2025. So I'm with it. 5'10", 175. Sheds tackles like it's nothing. Seems like a really smart player. It's not just like, hey, there's one really clear cut I need to make to get around a high school football defender and I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
But somebody who is thinking a couple steps ahead. There's a couple where he was jammed up on the line and he found the perfect escape route out and there was somebody there waiting for him and he already knew where. Yeah, and he already knew where to go after that.
Yeah.
And the ability to look at that and to be able to, on the fly, I don't care at what level, assess where you need to go when there's like 5 or 6 big bodies around you, like that's going to translate.
It's vision. It's running back vision.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's got really good vision, and the numbers, again, back up at this high school level just what he's been capable of over the last couple of seasons at the high school level. So in 2021, debuted in 9 games as a freshman with 1,482 yards and 16 touchdowns, 7.5 yards per carry, threw in 17 receptions for $156 and a touchdown. 2022, in 5 games as a sophomore, ran for 650 yards and 3 touchdowns on 6.4 yards per carry, and then absolutely blew up as a junior in 2023. Ran for over 2,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, 9.6 yards per carry. This man is averaging just about a first down every single carry, and then averaging 194.5 yards per game in 11 contests. That is absolutely just wicked production out of Oklahoma, dude.
And you're like this as well. There was a couple plays where he lined up direct snap. So we can maybe look at a new version of the wild scat. New type of just direct snap, run the ball straight ahead or find a route around. And he also lined up a little bit on the outside as well and caught some passes too. Not the best hands in the world, but still was able to catch it behind the line of scrimmage. And like I said before, move straight forward, get around on the outside edge and just make people miss. If you watch, it's an 11-minute highlight tape. If you watch all of it, you're not going to go more than a play where he doesn't just completely shed a defender. And I mean, he makes people fall routinely. Like it's not just like, oh my God, he broke his ankles that play. Pretty much every single play, somebody's touching grass.
Future tail of the tape candidate, maybe?
Future speed demon of the week.
Future speed demon
Absolutely
of the
future
week.
Speed demon of the week. But yeah, I think this would be a great tail of the tape. You could do all 11 minutes of the tail of the tape and be thoroughly
we can get real gross with it and just do 11 minutes. It'll be longer because we're going to stop every single play
and just
really
run it back.
Break it down.
Here's the thing. You don't have to, like, you see a nice play, you don't have to stop it and say, run that one again. You just have to wait for the next play to come up and he's going to do the same thing.
That's fair. We got Sharon in the chat, Glenn, Daniel, JJB, and the one only Mike Luke himself, Totri the Go, Del Taco for life.
No free ads.
No free ads. That's Mike, though.
Mike.
That's on Mike. That's not on me, right?
No, it's not on you.
You read it.
I mean, it is. It's not on you, but it is on you. You know, you got to take that responsibility. But it's also on Mike.
We got an interesting trade in the NBA. I know it's not an NBA podcast, but interesting. Alex Caruso headed to Oklahoma City. Josh Giddey headed to Chicago. So that's interesting. So
it's a terrible trade for the Thunder. Anyway, speaking of Oklahoma,
there you go.
That's the transition there. No, I mean, listen, I'm a fan, and you're going to look at a couple running backs that are here this year, not being around next year, and you want to kind of keep that pipeline going, and especially with somebody like Kenny and the offense that he likes to scheme up and run, whether it's in real life or apparently it's on Madden as well, is that ball, it's going to be ran, and it's going to get ran a majority of the time, right, and set up everything else through the ground game. And so this seems like somebody who you could very easily see being a weapon when they first get on campus, not maybe running back one, because that might be a lot to ask of a freshman when they walk right in. But this is somebody where give them a couple of years and you could be looking at like the next running back for Arizona State University.
Yeah, well, look, we'll talk about the depth in this running back room here in a second. But first, want to remind everybody, you could still head to gophnx.com, click the little event tab, and it's going to unlock the little event calendar. Guys, and we've got a PHNX trivia night tonight at Chicken and Pickle. You could still go sign up. It's free absolutely free. And if you've never been to Chicken and Pickle, it is an amazing, amazing spot. Pickleball, great food. They got a bunch of other games. They got chicken, they got pickles, they have it all. Again, Thursday, June 20th, tonight, 7 p.m. through 9 p.m. Erik, you're going to be there.
Yeah, I was going to say, most importantly, they have all of that, but also Anthony Totri will be in the building.
Oh, is that what it is?
That is, that's the big news, the big
groundbreaking
news.
stuff.
Yeah, it is groundbreaking stuff.
We might need security.
Yeah, people knocking down the door.
Yeah,
I need to see Anthony Totri.
No, it's more like I want to harm that guy.
Yeah. Are they all wearing Sheduer Sanders jerseys?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if you pull up to Chicken and Pickle, there's just a bunch of dudes in Colorado jerseys with sunglasses on just staring at you?
I mean, yeah. I could believe that.
You could believe that?
I could believe that.
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see you just say,
Look, it is in Glendale, right? I live in Ahwatukee, so I made sure to fill up at Circle K this morning. That way I have a full tank of gas to get all the way to Chicken and Pickle and get all the way back home. But they've got so much more than a great deal on gas over at Circle K. They've got a new free membership program, Inner Circle. It's going to help you guys save money every single day. First 5 fill-ups save 25 cents per gallon, and then every single day after that, you're going to save 3 cents per gallon as well. They got a bunch of sweet treats. I know that's Shane's favorite. They got a ton of other snacks, sports drinks, energy drinks. They have it all over at Circle K. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading that Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details.
You know, lucky for everybody, the Chicken and Pickle event tonight is free.
Yes.
You can show up and have some fun, play some trivia. Apparently, the questions that Totri submitted were extremely hard.
They
borderline
There's
impossible.
a bunch of normies out there, man.
No, Totri, I'm on
Did
the
you
side
look at the questions?
I'm on the side of the normies here. That's ridiculous.
Were they that crazy?
Okay, I'm going to give a teaser for you guys. One of them is how many, I'm not going to say it because then you guys can look it up beforehand, but it's how many like people went to the next level in a certain sport. And the number is like 170 something. Like nobody should know that. Nobody should know that.
That is absolutely insane.
So yeah,
I have not.
But that was under the hard tab, was it not?
Yeah, but the hard questions shouldn't be impossible. They should be challenging.
It's a challenge.
No, it's not. It's a coin. It's not even a coin. It's a shot in the dark. You're throwing a dartboard. You're throwing a dart at a dartboard with no lights on.
Maybe someone knows it. That's going to be one of those questions is going to be the difference maker tonight.
You know what's going to be funny is when they read the question, you just hear everybody there just go, ugh.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But listen, you could show up for free, but unfortunately, not many things in this life are free.
No.
And so sometimes you need a little bit of help. And I know for me, $200 would make my life a lot easier right now. And if you feel the same way, you should check out our friends over at Desert Financial Credit Union, the official retail banking partner of Arizona State University, and of course of Erik Ruby as well. For more than 84 years, I'm now calling it a nice even 85 years. DFCU has been Arizona's largest, most trusted local credit union, providing exceptional experiences, whether it comes to your basics, checking savings accounts, or mortgages, loans, credit cards, investment options, and more. Fantastic customer service locations all the way across the valley. You're never too far away from one. And right now, if you are an Arizona State University fan, which I would assume most of you in here are, you can open up a checking account online, get that $200 for free, and you can spend it on exclusive 3 different Arizona State University Visa debit cards. Just pick your favorite design, go out there and rock it. I would show my card, but I like my money and I don't want you to steal it from me, so I'm not going to do that. But just know you can walk around repping maroon and gold, repping ASU with your $200 for free. Just go to desertfinancial.com/ASU to get started.
Absolutely. Look, before we continue talking ASU football, do us a solid. If you're already watching on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching on Twitter, right under the tweet that you're currently watching is a link to the show. Click on it, come over to YouTube, join the conversation, and again, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you are not already subscribed to PHNX Sports. It's not just Arizona State. There is an Arizona Wildcats podcast. There's a hockey podcast. There's a Cardinals podcast. There's a Suns podcast. What am I missing? There's the Mercury. There's Rising. There's so much. There's Southwest Bias.
Yeah.
They got a lot. We got a lot. We got a lot
of stuff going on over here, man.
Look, getting back into the running back room. So, Demarius Robinson gets here. Class of 2025. Jason Brown is supposed to get here in the fall.
Right.
He was class 2024 running back. I believe he was one of either the first or second highest rated commit for Arizona State in the class of 2024. So you've got him. You'll have Robinson. Assuming nobody transfers out, which is it's a big assumption in today's era of college sports. You'll have Alton McCaskill, you'll have Jason Brown, you'll have Raleek Brown, and you will have Demarius Robinson. Am I missing anybody? Because Scat will be gone.
Yeah, Scat's gone.
And so will DeCarlos Brooks.
Correct. I believe that's it. And you are right. Jason Brown, top recruit in 2024, 91 overall on his score on Stars. So
I was going to start talking about those scores and ratings as like Madden ratings.
Yeah.
He's a 91 overall.
He's a 91 overall. No, and I mean, listen, if you're looking at it, they're not really recruiting a ton of running backs, and maybe that's something they'll be looking at more in the portal to add like depth as well. But it kind of looks like they're finding their one or two just kind of blue chip running back prospect that they're going to want to run a bunch of stuff through. And so if that's Jason Brown this year, I'm excited to see what he does, and he'll probably be that go-to guy.
Oh, Kyson Brown too. I forgot about Kyson Brown too.
The Brown brothers, Jason Brown and Kyson Brown. Jason Brown will probably be your go-to guy by the time that Demarius comes in here, but then you kind of keep that chain going. And again, for this type of offense, for what Kenny wants to run and Sean Aguano, you always want to have depth, but you need somebody that's going to be your go-to guy.
Yeah. Jagger in the chat, why is Scat leaving? He's not leaving. He'd just be out of eligibility. Next year, he just won't.
Yeah, they're talking about next year, not this year.
Yeah, we're talking
He'll
next
be here
year.
for
Him
this
and
year.
DeCarlos, same thing. They'll be out of eligibility.
I don't know, though. With the NCAA, man, they might just be like, you know what? Guys could just play for as long as they want.
I get that.
They can just play for as long as they
and of course, Scat's going to be a giant part of this offense this year, the same way he was last year. And then next year, I think it's going to be interesting to see kind of the transition, because DeCarlos Brooks is a really talented running back, a great barber as well. But when you're losing those two, right, somebody, a change of pace back in DeCarlos, who had, I believe it was 3 touchdowns against Colorado, and then you lose Scat, who does literally everything for you. I'm really excited to see him slim down this season, just what he's capable of for this ASU offense, year 1 under Marcus Arroyo. But next year, Alton McCaskill will be your lead running back. Assuming he is 100% healthy, there is no way in my mind that McCaskill doesn't become RB1 when Scat and D'Lo leave. And then Raleek will continue his role. I think Raleek is probably RB2 here this season, and I would imagine he's RB2 again next year, but not like in a traditional RB2 sense of like you're a third down running back. Like these two each this season, I feel like Scat's looking at between 15, 20 carries a game, or I won't say carries, 15, 20 touches a game, and Raleek Brown is probably looking anywhere between 8 and 15 touches a game, which is still really solid for us, an RB2.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if, depending on the situation and what kind of looks the defenses are throwing, if they're like, hey, speed is what's really killing them this time, let's go to Raleek a little bit more. And obviously Cam slimmed down a little bit and wants to focus more on speed than just the brute strength. But if you need somebody to run through somebody a little more often, Scat might be sharing more of that workload. But
don't sleep on Raleek, though. Raleek can do that.
No, he can. I just think that if you're looking at how to utilize their skills the best and you're going for the speed guy, it's going to be Raleek. Not saying that either can't do one or the other,
just faster,
because they can, but Raleek's just faster and Cam's just stronger. It doesn't mean that they both can't do the other as well.
Yeah, and look, you brought it up, I know, kind of jokingly, right, that this is running back you, but in all seriousness, you look at Arizona State's offenses over the years, doesn't matter who the head coach has been, right? Todd Graham, Herm Edwards, Kenny Dillingham, like it's been a solid running back, at least one, sometimes two, every year for the last 8 to 10 years, right? Demario Richard, Kalen Ballage, Eno Benjamin, Rashad White, right? It went from Eno to Rashad, and then Xavier Valladay, and then Cameron Scadaboo.
That's like, I think it'd be hard pressed to find a lot of schools, maybe non like SEC powerhouses, that have had that level of talent at running back consistently, and a bunch of different types of backs too. You know? It's not like you're just getting the same guy over and over.
Yeah,
and
they
over
haven't
and
had a
over
cookie
again.
cutter.
Yeah, it's very, very unique running backs who bring a lot of different stuff to the table at each different steps of the way, through different coaches, different assistant coaches, different recruiting processes, different landscapes of college football. I mean, really everything. And at the end of the day, the consistent has been, we're going to have somebody that we can hand the ball to and we can feel confident they're going to do something with it.
I'm going to put you and Shane on the spot here just a little bit. Who is your favorite Arizona State running back over the last 10 years?
Oh,
I've made it well known.
It's Rashad.
White.
Yeah.
I like
Shane's
my boy
favorite's
Eno.
Rashad.
I like
you
my
Eno?
boy Eno.
What is it about Eno? Eno also just phenomenal human being.
Yeah, I've always had a soft spot for him, and I feel like he was just always somebody that you could rely on. I was like, that's my boy Eno. I wish things maybe worked out for him a little bit better on the next level.
I think I'm gonna go Demario.
Yep.
Demario was a really, really fun running back to watch, and then also being in college at the time, like the way that he would make himself available to media post game was just the most incredible thing ever. Just hopping over the fence and doing all the interviews. Like he was just such an awesome guy. Kalen Ballage was also a lot of fun to just watch that final year that he was at Arizona State and everything that he did. Also think when we're talking all these running backs, someone that doesn't get necessarily enough love because he was only here for the year is Xavier Valade.
He was great.
He was. And it was a bad year for Arizona State, right? But like he's the reason they won any games that year. He was that good. And again, it sucks that he was only here for the 1 year. I'm interested to see who he's going to be pulling for when Arizona State and Wyoming play each other. Because that was his school beforehand.
That is an interesting point.
But yeah, I think again, it is running back and you got to give credit to Sean Aguano for being able to go out there and recruit some of these guys. Because these aren't necessarily 5-star running backs that he is going and finding and turning into 1,000-yard rushers. Yeah. He's going out there and getting diamonds in the rough sometimes. Sometimes he is getting some high-level running back recruits or guys from the transfer portal that turn into stars. But he has done a phenomenal job over the last few seasons with what he's been given.
Yeah, Kalen Ballage, good shout-out by Hunter in the chat as well. Fantastic. Very fun to watch. And then the names just go on. And you talk about turning kind of not nothing, but not high-star guys into something. I mean, look at the journey of Cam Scadaboo.
Yeah.
Right?
Sac State.
And now you're talking about, one of the best running backs in the Big 12, which of course is very stacked.
Arizona
at
State's
that position.
Best punter last year.
Yeah, best punter. One of the best quarterbacks as well.
Yeah,
he really can do it all. And he was somebody that when he transferred here, not a lot of people were going, wow, Cam Scadaboo transferred to Arizona State University. What a difference maker.
I don't know. Shane was like that.
But Shane's different. Shane's built different. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm talking like national scale. People are like, okay, it's Cam Scadaboo, and then he comes in and he takes his team by storm.
Yeah, Shane, I remember I told him, I'm like, yeah, dude, do you see this new running back, Sac State, Cameron Scadaboo coming over? I think at the time nobody knew how to say his name, so we're like Scadabo or whatever. Transferred to Arizona State, and Shane was like, dude, yeah, we know about this guy. He's awesome. Kennedy's gonna have him doing everything, and sure enough, he came to Arizona State.
Okay, I'm not gonna give myself that much credit. I don't think I said he was gonna be doing everything.
Shane's like, he will be punting.
You did, Shane. Did guarantee that he would throw a touchdown pass this season. He did. I do remember that.
Give yourself the credit, Shane.
Because there was a play at Sac State where he did that. And
yeah, I did not expect him to be punting though.
God, that was honestly the best part though.
What I love about Scat is his if you talk to any normal college football fan that's not doesn't watch ASU, so just any college football fan, they will tell you that it's Scadaboo.
Yeah.
They know who he is. So that's a really fun thing with him.
I can't wait to play with him in the game.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
That is gonna be.
He'll be one of the higher ranked,
a ton of
rated
fun.
players on ASU for sure.
But look, we're obviously gonna enjoy the final season of Cameron Scadaboo at Arizona State before Demarius Robinson gets here in 2025. Look, one thing that we've seen from Kenny Dillingham and this staff really throughout the recruitment process is the moment that they have an idea that they're getting somebody or that they actually get somebody, it's all over Twitter. X, whatever you want to call it, retweets.
They do some gifts of it's a great day to be a Sun Devil right before.
Everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything. But Demarius committed last night, and you know what we had?
Nothing.
Crickets from the coaches. So why is that, Erik? Why did we have crickets from the coaching staff?
Well, they are following the rules.
They're following the rules.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
Part of
it's nice.
the mandate handed down from the NCAA, no contact with recruits. That is right now.
Yeah.
Right here, right now.
So Chris Cartman tweeted this, I believe this morning. He had tweeted it out saying, quote, "You may have noticed that ASU's coaches haven't shared this commitment news as they normally would. It's because they are not allowed to communicate with recruits this week as a part of ASU's negotiated resolution with the NCAA's COI, according to recruits." So Arizona State not trying to get themselves in any trouble, which is, thank God, right? And again, Arizona State, the coaching staff, they had a pretty good idea that they were going to be getting this kid in advance. So I'm sure the moment that they're able to actually talk to these kids again, you're going to get the thumbs up. You're going to get the gifts. You're going to get everything, all the bells and whistles from this coaching staff.
It wasn't until you mentioned it, to me, you're like, they're following the rules. They didn't really post about it. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. Like,
isn't that nice?
Yeah. Like, could you imagine if they posted and it was like, oh, crap. Yeah. Didn't follow the rules. I mean, listen, you got to be extra careful right now. And especially because, like, there are eyes, I'm sure, watching ASU and everything that this coaching staff does and making sure that they follow every last little rule and mandate that was handed down. So, good for them to be able to show that restraint. But to be honest with you, I expect nothing less from this set of coaches.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Absolutely.
Right. Recruiting rules. Now we're just going to see it transpire on the field, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And they got a lot of talent, right? Yeah. Offensively, defensively. So we're just, I believe, 72 days away, 73 days away from kickoff, which is like, can we believe it? Can we believe that we're
there, man?
It's not that far away, right? It's June 20th right now. Before you know it, we're going to have that college football game is going to get us through the rest of July and then early August.
I think we got exactly a month, right? Or a little less than a month.
We got less than a month for the game, and then if you do pre-order.
So, fair warning, putting this out there right now, I am taking that day off, but it's not because I'm going to be traveling on that Friday that it comes out. But I also have been played it the week before.
I'm also, and let me know in the chat, I want to do some post-game shows for some from EA Sports from this video game. I think that shit would be absolutely
You got that,
electric.
champ.
I'll do it.
They'd have to see the game, though, or else you'd be talking about a game.
Well, no, you can clip the highlights. You can clip the highlights from the game.
Yeah, go ahead. You
could also do watch along.
I think if we'd have to do a watch along.
Yeah, we could do that. Just somebody set me up
post game.
Put a camera there, hit record, and I'll go.
Gaming with Totri.
Yeah, I'm here for it, man. But I say all this because when we get to the actual season, Arizona State's first year in the Big 12, couple big-time players in this conference, a part of the Arizona State football team that Athlon Sports currently has as preseason all Big 12 players. So, Leif Fautanu, friend of the program, right? Center, Shamari Simmons, safety, Cam Scadaboo, running back extraordinaire, and then Keyshawn Elliott, the linebacker transfer from New Mexico State, and Prince Dorba, edge rusher, listed at D-line here. What do you think of those 5 names?
No surprises.
Yeah?
No surprises here. I'd say if you asked for the 5 names, those would probably be the 5 that I'd give you.
Do you see any of them actually making the all-conference team?
Leif, I think, has the best chance. I think he has the chance to be the best center.
I think Leif could be, first team this year.
In this conference and possibly, one of the top, if not the top centers in all of college football. I mean, if everything goes right. But he's an absolute beast. Cam, it's tough. I think Cam is probably the second best player, if not the best player. Him and Leif are fighting for it on this list, but that position is really stacked.
Yeah, you're not touching first team.
Really. I mean,
unless Gordon has a horrible season or something.
Or if Cam just does some otherworldly, numbers.
What's it going to take? What are the numbers going to take?
Let me look up Ollie Gordon's last
But
season.
You're also you can't just, again, this is not something where you can just go off and have an amazing season and then be 3-9 and then expect to be
right. So it's going to take team success for sure. And this was Ollie Gordon's last season: 285 carries, 1,732 yards, 21 touchdowns.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You want to know how many fumbles?
0.
I remember we did the running back tiers a while ago, and it was so many running backs had 1.3 to 1.7 K yards and just no fumbles, which is insane.
Big 12 running back conference.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, listen, it would be a lot for Cam to break that first team, but I think that he has the talent and the ability. If this offensive line can get together and this team can win more games and surprise a lot of people, I think it'll be a conversation for him to make a all Big 12 team.
Yeah, I think Leif is certainly going to make one of the teams. Shamari is interesting for me.
Yeah.
Just because I don't even know. Again, no offense to him, but I think Xavier Alford is the best safety on this team.
Okay.
I think he's the best defensive player on this team, point blank period. But he's not on this list. He didn't play last season. I get it. A lot of people haven't seen him play. We've been to practices. Yeah. Shamari is really talented, and he's the best returning player in that secondary for Arizona State who actually played last season. So I understand why he's on this list. And certainly, I think there are a ton of safeties on Arizona State's roster that you could find in contention for all conference stuff. Scat is another interesting one. Again, Ollie Gordon he's got that locked up before season even really started. But we will, of course, see if there's anybody that's going to give him a run for its money. It's got to be Cam Scatterbo. But again, partially, you got to understand the offense, the team success, and the fact of the matter is, Cam Scatterbo is not going to be getting the production this season that he got last season. Yeah. This running back room is deeper. It's a completely new offensive coordinator. Things will look a tad different, and that's okay, right? Scat's numbers may not be otherworldly, but I don't think if he isn't putting up 1,000 rush yards that Arizona State is having a bad season.
Yeah, and in fact, you could maybe even argue it the other way, right?
Yeah.
Where if they have
keep
to
him
rely
fresh,
on him
man,
as much as last season, then that might be tough. Glenn with a good point that I was going to ask you, like any thoughts for Jordan Tyson possibly making an all Big 12 team? I know it's tough when guys don't play and then they come back, and it's hard to predict, but from everything that we've all talked about, from what you guys have said, from going out there at practice, from what everybody on the team has said when we talked to them, Jordan Tyson's going to be an absolute stud playmaker for this team day one.
I mean, I think anytime you're a wide receiver one, you have potential to do that, right? Again, it's a new offense. It is not necessarily going to be totally pass heavy, and you don't necessarily know what you're getting out of your quarterback.
That's true.
As of right now, June 20th, you don't know what you're getting.
Complete unknown.
He's got the talent to do so. He's absolutely got the talent to do so. If he, looks the same way that he looked as a freshman at Colorado, then absolutely. Watch out. He's going to be one of the best wideouts in this conference. But it is a TBD. Again, you got to look at team success. And for Jordan Tyson, a lot of his success this season will hinder on who's playing quarterback and what the offense looks like. Is Arizona State constantly playing from behind? If so, then Jordan Tyson's numbers might be inflated. If Arizona State functions as the offense that they want to have, then Jordan Tyson probably isn't getting 100 receiving yards a game. Yeah. Keyshawn Elliott at linebacker is a really interesting player to me. He's an absolute unit out on the field. Really interested to see what he's able to do defensively for this team in a Brian Ward system where you look last season, Trey Brown had a really, really solid year. So that linebacker spot is going to be interesting, whether it's Keyshawn, whether it's Zyrus Fiaseu. And then you look at the edge rusher position for Arizona State. Prince Dorba is the name, I believe. Me and Mike talked about it on Behind Enemy Lines last week that he was potentially going to be somebody. If not, it was a name brought up in the Discord. But Prince Dorba was tied for the team lead for sacks for Arizona State. He is now edge rusher number 1 with BJ Green no longer being here. He looks a lot bigger this season, a second year in the system. So Prince Dorba and Leaf are the two that I would say are the most likely to probably end up on an all-conference team.
If I asked you what other position Keyshawn Elliott played in high school, would you know?
I give you a guess.
He played linebacker and
tight end?
No.
Is it offense or defense?
Offense.
Quarterback?
Yeah, he played quarterback.
Wow. That's what you like, though, right?
He was the first team All-State at both linebacker and punter, too.
What state?
I think he... From...
I'm here for that, though.
From Richmond, is it MO, Missouri?
ML?
MO.
MO is Missouri, yeah.
Yeah, I think MO is Missouri. So from Missouri. Just making sure.
Doing your due diligence
Just
on
making
that.
sure.
Hey, man, if your Mike linebacker is a guy that understands what's going through the quarterback's head, I will absolutely take that every single day of the week. But it's going to be interesting to see who of these guys, and guys that aren't even on this list, if they're able to go out there and make an all-conference team. Again, I know a lot of these guys don't really care too much about the awards. They'd rather just
get
win
the team
games.
success.
They'd rather just win games.
And that's the thing, is a lot of times the awards will probably come with team success. I think if you have a repeat record-wise of this season and the conference that you're in now, I don't see a lot of... all. Okay, I get it, guys. MO is Missouri. I got you.
Okay, this is the last thing on this. What else would it be?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm just making. I don't know. I had a little brain fart. Sorry, guys. Little brain fart over here.
Moreland?
Yeah. That was my guess. Hawaii, maybe?
Well, it was just
Milwaukee.
I was gonna say I saw Richmond.
Milwaukee goes crazy.
I saw Richmond at first. I was about to just say Richmond, Virginia, just off rip, and then I was like, MO, what? And that kind of
Virginia.
Yeah,
Virginia goes crazy. No, I think it does.
No, it does not.
So Erik, I'm gonna toss this up to you.
You're
Okay.
gonna lob it.
Yeah, I'm gonna lob it to you.
Okay.
Do we want to talk about the crybabies in Boulder, or do we want to talk about Kendrick Lamar? I'll let you pick.
Considering that this is the PHNX Sun Devils podcast, let's do the college football.
You want to talk college football?
Yeah.
Okay. So I put out a video.
Yes, you did.
Totri's 2 cents.
Fantastic stuff.
And it was bashing, not the right word. It was, I think it was just kind of breaking down the take that Jake had, where he compared Joe Burrow, college football legend, who engineered engineered the greatest college football season offensively by a quarterback that we have ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Jake compared Sheduer Sanders, quarterback of the Colorado Buffaloes, to Joe Burrow. So I picked apart the take, whatever you want to call it, and I tweeted it out. And people were not so happy. Colorado fans.
What?
The army of White Walkers. They came and they defended Jake. They defended the take. They were absolutely they're crazed. They're crazed, delusional fans that it doesn't matter what you say. You could tell them that Colorado is going to make the college football playoff but lose, and they would come in your DMs and they would be like, what? What? This guy, he's a clown. This guy doesn't know shit. He doesn't know ball.
Yeah, have you considered knowing ball?
Yeah, that was my favorite.
Have you thought about that?
That was my favorite.
Consider just, grinding tape a little harder
Yeah.
and just learning football?
That's my biggest thing is like, Jake, if we're going back talking football, why immediately it just turns into insults and name calling. He responded to the tweet today just saying clown ass period. That was the response. And then called Mike Luke Del Taco Boy.
Del Taco. Okay.
That's a compliment.
Del Taco Boy is,
Mike Luke was like, thanks.
No, he was.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Pretty sure Mike at Del Taco and was like, I'm your guy. Like, come on, man. Like, and he didn't even defend his take. He didn't even defend his trash ass take.
And that's the thing. If you want to lay out all the reasonings that you have for it or whatever, I think Sheduer Sanders is good, so I'm going to compare him to Joe Burrow. That's just not good enough. That's just not good enough.
Or at least have something to back it up. He used the comparison, and then part of the comparison was swagger and confidence.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, what? That's not how we compare quarterbacks, dude.
There are a bunch of people who have good swagger and confidence, and they can't throw a football.
It's just,
yeah.
This fan base never ceases to amaze me. And honestly, right, I know I'm supposed to dislike the Arizona Wildcats extensively. And I don't have any love for that fan base or that team or that program. I want to see Colorado fail more than I want the Wildcats to fail.
Yeah.
And I mean that. I genuinely mean that. The fan base has done that. They've
gotten under your skin.
They haven't gotten under my skin. I just it's just the amount of logic in that fan base. You could fit it into a little jar. That's the entire fan base.
Yeah.
They're all delusional.
No, it's very funny to see a fan base like Colorado and the turn that they've taken in just the last couple of years and how much just Deion Sanders can go in and infect their brains and put them on this.
It's an infection, huh?
Genuinely it is. And once Deion Sanders has moved on and they
Next
kind of
year.
when they take a step back and they start breathing, Sheduer Sanders is gone, right? The whole circus is gone. They're going to be like, wow, that was not as great as we thought it was. When they leave with no college football playoff, appearances, not a lot of success, maybe not even a bowl game.
He's going to leave, and they're not going to even have a 500 season.
And they're going to be like, wait, that was it? They're going to be bamboozled.
It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah,
but
it's
Colorado.
bad when you can have an ASU podcast go we hate somebody as much as we hate you.
Yeah,
like that.
And I didn't. I didn't initially do it. I didn't think Colorado. I didn't think. I said multiple times that Deion, his whole thing was not going to work at Colorado. Didn't work year one. Everybody lost their mind after they beat TCU, right? And then the whole season was trash.
It was. It's funny because this is the first time that somebody in Colorado as a team has drawn a comparison to an LSU team. After they beat TCU, they're like, who wins? The best LSU team or Colorado. It's truly insane. And I get that people want to be excited and that if Deion Sanders is the head coach of your football team and what he says you want to believe it. Like, you want it to be true. You don't want to doubt it, especially when you're coming from where that program was before he walked in that door.
You know the biggest difference, though, between Arizona State fans?
He sat up.
And again, the biggest difference between Arizona State, the way that we talk about Kenny Dillingham and the Sun Devils, right? You could be excited, but we understand that to succeed the way that you want to succeed in college sports right now, it takes time. This is not overnight, right? So that's the biggest difference for Arizona State fans. You don't see Arizona State fans, and rightfully so, more should be excited about Kenny Dillingham. Nobody's telling you that Arizona State is going to go win the Big 12. You know why? Because there's something in here. It's not very hollow. But when it comes to Colorado fans, it immediately is, we've got Deion, national fucking champions. Why? You ask them why. Oh, Deion, Coach Prime, Sheduer, Travis Hunter. That's great. You had all those guys last year, and you won one game. Your last game of the season was October 7th. You didn't do shit for about 2 months after that.
Yeah.
But guess what? Big 12 championship incoming. My ass.
Yeah.
Clown ass, my ass.
You hear us get excited about ASU football in general, and we talk about what's being built, and what it can look like, and why we like what the coaching staff is doing, and they've improved the roster and everything like that. But to go into the season with the same expectations as Colorado fans, because quite honestly, like as far as projection goes, right? Like these two programs were rebuilding around the same time, right?
Literally the same time.
And so you can easily draw a comparison between the two. Yeah. And they could not have two more different head coaches.
You know what's
two
funny?
More different approaches to rebuilding.
Is I'm pretty sure there was something that had come out when there was obviously the vacant opening for Arizona State and Colorado at the same time, where Arizona State President Michael Crow, I believe, had said something along the lines of like he didn't think Deion was ready to lead.
He said he had a lot of room to grow as a football coach.
And guess what? You may hate Michael Crow. Michael Crow might have been right on this one.
Yeah.
He might have been right on this one. But I guess we'll see, right?
I mean, if I told you right now, would you rather have Deion Sanders or Kenny Dillingham as your head coach for Arizona State?
As my head coach,
University?
I'm taking Kenny Dillingham.
Without a doubt, 100% of the time.
Yeah. It is what it is, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think only people who are blinded by the Colorado love, maybe they're wearing their Deion shades. They're the only ones who would disagree.
Whatever. Trash ass shades, too. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the PHNX Sun Devil show. Guys, if you enjoy the content, give us a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow this guy at Erik Ruby. That is Erik with a K. You can follow the man behind the Mac at Shane Deef.
As always.
And we will see you guys for a Flavor and Friday. In the meantime, go Devils and peace.
We all silly like the mayor.